I guess let's go ahead and start here then. We'll go ahead and just talk about a little bit about you moving here, and
Sure.
then we'll kind of jump into, what your impressions are of Alaska after being here for nearly 2 years.
Absolutely, man.
So, yep. So real quick, where did you guys come from when you were looking at moving up here, when you came up here?
Yeah, for sure. So when Alaska got on our roadmap of potential places to move to, it was 2022, about the January, February of 2022, and so that's when I first flew up here for the first time. It was February 2022 to start looking at houses. First time I met you face to face. But yeah, flew up here. It was in the middle of, you guys had just received a ton of snow.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a good, welcome into Alaska in terms of, hey, look at all the snow you're going to have. I never grew up near snow. So that was kind of a fun welcome.
Where did you grow up in?
So I grew up in Utah. However, I grew up in southern Utah, so about 5 minutes from the Arizona border. So I know a lot of people, Utah, snow. I grew up pretty much like an hour from Vegas, so no snow. And then I was living in Oklahoma at the time before I moved up here.
Outstanding. So when you got up here, obviously Alaska kind of rolled out the red carpet, gave you like all that snow and everything.
Absolutely.
When you were up here initially, we did not get a whole lot of time to do much of anything. But
We did not. So my whole purpose of that first trip was literally to check out that house, look at a couple things, and then I had to fly back, get back to work. But honestly, that first trip pretty much sold Alaska. I know it was like very short. It's like only 2 days. But I mean, just the beauty of Alaska. I mean, it was winter, but just the beauty of Alaska with all the mountains and the snow and all the houses up on the hills and stuff, like it just blew me away. I was like, this is something out of like a movie, honestly, is what it felt like.
Right. So I guess stepping back real quick for the audience too,
Sure.
Where did you end up settling down in South Central Alaska?
In Eagle River. Yep. So I knew that I was going to be working in Anchorage. However, I didn't really want to be in Anchorage proper. So Eagle River, Chugiak were the primary areas where I was looking at, but I settled on Eagle River. Couldn't be happier.
And what made you decide you didn't want to settle down in Anchorage proper?
There's a couple reasons. One, I'm just not a big fan of any traffic. And you can't really complain. It's Alaska,
It's like you sound so spoiled right now.
I sound so spoiled. I know. It comes off so horribly. Because, I mean, even the summertime when there's a lot of tourists coming in, you really can't complain about the traffic. But I wanted, like, as peaceful as you could get. So I didn't want to, be in smack dab Anchorage for that. And, yeah, Eagle River, I mean, it's only, like, 10 minutes, and then you're already in, the north side of Anchorage, coming off the Glen. So, yeah, traffic, which I know I'm complaining too much here, but traffic was one of the reasons. Another was the schools for my kids. I have a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old, and then. There, a lot of the areas where we found potentially good houses in Anchorage, I wasn't really a fan of, I guess, what else was around the house. There's some, unfortunately, like kind of sketchier areas, and you just don't really run into that same issue as much as in Eagle River. So I had more, freedom of choice in Eagle River, I felt like.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see that. What were some of the downsides then of living in Eagle River then?
I mean, for sure, the distance to everything. I mean, Anchorage has everything, which is so nice. And so, if you need anything other than basic groceries, it's like, okay, you're going to drive into drive into Anchorage. There's some restaurants up in Eagle River, but all the good restaurants are in Anchorage. Obviously, a lot more people, a lot of the fun things are in Anchorage. So that is a downside. There's a drive. just a lot less going on in Eagle River, you know.
Yeah, that's the case. I mean, you might get a concert, we get the parade, Bear Paw,
Yeah,
but I mean, it's kind of few and far between for sure.
for sure, for sure.
So another thing that we did talk about, and we were very intentional about this, is you guys decided you didn't want to live all the way out in the Matsu Valley. So
Yes, and that was, yeah, I think I would have been fine with it, but then you run into just like that commute. So I do have many friends who live out in the valley, and they absolutely love it. There's so much good out there, and honestly, like I would be lying if I didn't say like I'm still kind of tempted to move out there. But yeah, my friends average a 45-minute, 50-minute commute every day. And that definitely adds up, you know. I mean, you could definitely, you know, go through a lot of podcasts, a lot of audiobooks on those drives, but it adds up.